This is Ithaca AV chapter, ICD 2021. My name is Ashley. I'm the organizer. My partner Carrie, co-organizer, partner for life as well. Got my crew behind me. I just wanted to share something with the world dedicated to all the non-human animals who are still in cages, still in tanks, all of them who don't have their freedoms right now. This is dedicated to you. This is also dedicated to Paul and Asal, all of AV.
This is AV, this is ICD. In the eyes of the victims, I see me. She was held down and raped for your ice cream. I'm trying to be the light in her life, just like some high beams. You don't wanna see me or hear me, they say I'm feisty, but you still an animal abuser, and I'll check you like it's Nike. You don't have to like me, but you know who will? The trillions of those that breathe through gills. 'Cause I'm trying to liberate while you suffocate. You treat them like shit, like a defecating. What about the male chicks getting ground up alive? Cause they won't lay eggs, they don't have a dollar sign. You made a deal with the devil, you sign on that line. What you doing is so cruel, don't you see that higher sign? And all the cows born, they don't get that solid bond. They don't get their mother figure, they don't get to see their mom. Cause right when they're born, they get taken away. And after she's spent, she's the steak on your plate. Her fear, her stress, her sadness and death, and all the hell she went through is what you ingest. That's someone's skin on your back. It's not a leather vest. The feathers in your pillow, they were ripped off someone's chest. What's in your perfume? A lot of animal tests. Shit, that's a lot of blood on your hands. You finally have the chance to rid yourself from all the animal abuse that you demand. You can do it with veganism. Stop your speciesism. That human supremacist, you live it with time to kick them straight to the curb. Man, I'm straight with these words. It's just me, my crew, AV is who we serve.
Ithaca AV ICD 2021. See you all ICD 2022.
One of the main reasons I wanted to bring you on was because of what I've seen on International Cube Day. We're going to talk about that in a bit, though. I want to start off from the beginning. That's where I always want to go. I want to get to know you a little bit more, and your lovely partner there. I'm going to forget your name, Carrie and Ashley.
Yes.
Ashley, the future is vegan?
No.
Ashley, dairy is scary.
Hi, rapper here.
Okay. And
co-organizer, partner, Carrie.
Carrie, thank you. Thank you for introducing yourself. It was so confusing on Instagram trying to figure out who was who because you were both talking to me.
Yeah, it happened.
I'm easily confused, though. It's an age thing. So tell me what it was like for each of you. It doesn't matter who starts, but growing up when it comes to animals.
So my connections with animals probably started, I would say, the pre-K. So it's like, was that 4 years old? 3, 4 years old?
Yeah, around 3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, I went to a Montessori school. So we, like elementary school, a lot of hands-on learning experience. We always had animals in our classrooms.
Oh, wow.
Thinking back on it, probably not the best thing because some were in cages and tanks, things like that. But I never forget when we first got our first hamster, and you know how like they have hamsters and like they have like the spinning wheel, and like the tubes they can crawl down. I was so fascinated with that, and I literally would watch him all day long. But we always had animals. So we had hamsters, gerbils, fish. I enjoyed going to the zoo growing up, aquariums, of course, those things we don't do. But as a kid, you don't know.
No,
you're innocent.
You don't know the difference.
Love seeing them. My first passion in life was to be a veterinarian. Not really sure how I diverted off that, but
many changes along the way. Yeah,
definitely, absolutely. So my love for animals and connection, it started very, very, very young. I never had companion animals at home, though.
Okay.
It's one of the things my mom, she just didn't want to do.
Me neither. Yeah, my mom was the same. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I always had that connection with them from a very, very, very young age. Absolutely.
Did you ever end up having any pets once you left home?
No. The only, I would say, moving here, because Carrie, her family, they had dogs and cats, and I kind of adopted some of them as my own mentally.
Yeah, of course.
So that's the only type of companion animal being around or being able to see someone often, being in the house, petting them and playing with them. Just her animals when I moved here 9 years ago from where I used to live. So. Oh,
so you've been, where exactly are you located right now?
So we're in Ithaca, New York.
Ithaca?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'm from Yonkers, New York, which is a big city, probably 30 minutes outside of New York City.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I was. Yeah, very different atmosphere.
Yeah.
I moved here about 10 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
She knows all the facts.
She knows all the facts. Yeah.
Her details are so messy right now, so I'm just patiently waiting. So
You're awesome. She'll clarify.
So I've been here. I moved here about 10 years ago from Yonkers, New York.
She moved here in 2013, so it's just shy of 9 years, closer to finishing off the 8th year. I grew up here, actually in a very small town, about 15 minutes from Ithaca. Ithaca sits about 3 hours from New York City, so we're farther upstate, more central New York.
Okay.
I grew up with my parents. We lived in a very country setting. They still live there today. Lots of land, lots of wild animals, deer, squirrels, rabbits, all types of friends around. So my first experience was actually wildlife and seeing them in their natural setting, and that always felt normal to me.
For sure.
We did have friends that lived in the house with us, cats and dogs forever, that I can always remember. So I always had a connection to animals, whether it was within our home or outside. So yeah, I think Ashley started transitioning into more seeing pets as individuals and friends when she moved, because my parents, we had that baseline of friends, whether they were outside. It's probably the first time she really saw deer in like their natural setting. We even have coyotes and wolves. You don't see them as often. Down the road, there's a pond, there's beavers and woodchucks everywhere. So,
oh, wow. That's fantastic.
I'll never forget when I first, so being in the city, you'll see squirrels, you'll see pigeons, but you don't see chipmunks, you don't see beavers and rabbits running around. So I was so fascinated when I moved here. Like, oh, chipmunk running across the street. So so it's pretty different than the city.
Yeah, big change for sure.
Yeah.
So you were either of you vegetarians or vegans as children or growing up or anything like?
So growing up, we were raised very much vegetarian. When we ate a animal, it was from my dad hunting. So essentially we would eat what we called venison, which would have been deer.
Yeah.
So that was how, if we had an animal product, that's what it was. I grew up relatively poor. We had assistance, so we'd receive nasty government cheese and boxed gross powdered milk, and like essentials to get you through. But most of the time it was very much vegetarian, whether it was, potatoes. My mother's Polish, and so a lot of sausage, sauerkraut, potatoes, if we could afford the sausage, usually not. So it would most likely be a deer or venison. Okay. So I would say raised borderline vegetarian, very natural eaters, especially my dad, very much into growing his own food and gardens. That's still now till today. Okay. So that's for me.
And do you do that now yourself? Do you grow some of your own food? Like take some of what your dad has taught you?
I would like to say more so than I do, but no. We live in a townhouse now. We don't have it's a shared space. We don't share walls, but the yard would be shared. So we don't have the essential space to do that. But essentially what's going to happen in the future is I will inherit land from my parents. And that will become where I won't just be the assister of my parents' garden. We'll have our own space and most likely sanctuary, actually. So no, we don't have a garden now that we grow. We would absolutely love that, but this isn't really our permanent space, nor is it really our predominant space to make a garden.
Okay.
But we would love to do that, actually. My parents they might have all of the base for that. My parents canned and made their own grape juice, and
so you know how to do it. Yeah.
Right. So I have all of the knowledge and skills and equipment. I just need the space and the time.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe that'll come to you eventually. I mean, it sounds like it's something that you really sound passionate about that. How old are you guys? May I ask?
Yeah, sure. Actually, why don't you give it a good guess? Because I love the guessing game.
Okay, I'm old, so everyone is young. I'm thinking around 31, 32.
For Carrie?
For you.
Okay.
And then you're around 34.
Me?
Yeah.
I just turned 43 in August.
What? Fantastic.
Yeah.
How long you been vegan?
Almost 5 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
This March will be 5 years.
My birthday is 2 weeks away, and I'll be
37. She will be 37.
No, I'll be 38 actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Born in 84.
Yeah.
I was born in 78.
Okay. That's not bad. So that's a good balance.
It's always funny when someone says to me, they have had this experience twice. There was actually when we were doing our last cube, an older gentleman passed by. He was like, I don't know if you take old folks for your cube. And I was thinking, I'm not as young as I look, sir. So
yeah, exactly. It's the vegan. I always assert it's veganism. That's why we look so good, right?
I recently saw my uncle after 20 years, and he was so blown away at how young I looked. And they kept asking what I used on my skin. And I should have said, it's not what I use on it, it's what I put in it that actually keeps me with the round baby face.
Around the baby face, yeah. Mine's kind of. Some of my videos I talk about my jowls. They're coming, so they're unavoidable.
You're looking great.
Yes, they're fine.
Thanks. All right, so let's talk about when you guys met. Like, how long have you guys been together? It sounds about 9 years. What?
Yep. So we met through social media in late fall of 2012. Became a couple on January 1st, 2013. New Year's Eve. You know how that goes.
Yes, I do.
So every holiday, we're very non-traditional. So we don't really do what we call Thanksgiving. We don't do Christmas. But New Year's happens.
We do Christmas. I don't know what she's talking about.
Just in a different way, right?
Yeah, we don't do the gift stuff, but I definitely do celebrate that.
Then January 1st is always our anniversary, and Ashley's birthday, that's January 2nd. So it always is, it's like boom, boom,
big celebration then at the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely.
So this January 1st will be 9 years. Yep.
Okay. And were you vegan from the beginning? How long have you guys been vegan?
No, so
tell me about how that happened.
Yeah, so going back to what you were saying about growing up, I definitely didn't grow up vegetarian, vegan. I didn't even know of what vegan meant until probably recently. And what's funny is that I think in high school or middle school, someone was vegetarian, and in my mind, I was like, oh, that I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, oh, that's weird. I could never do that, blah, blah, blah. Because growing up, Sunday dinners, and that's why that my next song is very, very, very important to me. I did grow up in a religious household. I did go to church very often. I went to church probably about 3 to 4, 5 times a week. And Bible study, choir practice, after church services. We traveled a lot with my church. Yeah, we would go to various churches, sometimes even around the country, going to Atlanta and very different states to sing at different churches. And at the end of every service was a meal. And we would always gather around these big prayer circles and just say a blessing over it. And of course, I'm younger, so I'm not really thinking about that. So, but when I think back on it now, it devastates me. It pains me to the core. Like my pastors, my religious leaders. I mean, of course, everyone's just programmed. So it's not like they're doing this.
No, they're not doing it on purpose.
But it's just to the point to just think back on it and how much we prayed over violence. And my next song, I'm going to release it tonight. It pains me to the core that we celebrate the birth of Christ with death.
I guess that ties into why I said we're very non-traditional, because I feel like a lot of those traditions are what we stand against. So maybe we need our own traditions or the way we celebrate.
I think so. I think creating your own tradition is a necessity. Right. So no, have you guys done anything new? Like, what have you done differently at Christmas time now?
Well, honestly, because we both work at Cornell University, we get a very long break. It starts just before the eve and goes into the new year. So we tend to have a great opportunity to take vacations. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm a huge Disney fan, whether it's vegan or not, or your views on Disney. I absolutely love it.
Okay. What do you do there? Like, do you do all the rides? Really?
Everything except for Animal Kingdom, obviously, which we just came to terms with this past year. We didn't. We were.
I've never been there, so
So it's broken down into 4 parks in Disney World, and there's one that's called Animal Kingdom, and essentially they have like a safari ride and animals that they rescued or took in from other zoos or aquariums, which are even more horrible, but still captivity, still making profit from them. Yeah. So we actually I was kind of torn about it, but once we transitioned in May into the activism, like it made sense. Like we can't support something, but there's still 3 other parks that I can go to. There's shopping. There's, so anyways, we would do that normally. We would take out the whole being at home, Christmas tree, presents, stressed out buying for people. That's how our tradition started. Like in 2015, we started going to Florida. Like we weren't around cold weather. We weren't around snow.
Changing completely.
We would leave the area. So I guess that essentially became our tradition, right? Okay. Not being traditional.
Taking a vacation, awesome getting away. Yeah. Not like what she said, not doing the whole spending and the gifts and things like that. So,
okay. So when did you guys transition into veganism together?
It was March 30th, 2017. I have worked at Cornell for 14 years. I had been watching a bunch of documentaries starting in 2009, and Fat, Sick, and Almost Dead was one.
Which one? Fat, Sick?
And Almost Dead.
Okay.
He had a chronic disease where he was going around the country seeing if anyone else had this disease, and he was juicing. He was using juice. And then it goes into like plant-based diet, whole foods. Didn't touch on veganism so much, but the health aspect starts becoming more prevalent to me. Second was, I think at that time Forks Over Knives, which was another one that I watched. So I work in the library system. We were able to borrow documents.
Library. I'm totally gonna make fun of that, when I do this back.
Yeah, good, go for it. It takes the pressure off of Ash because she thought she'd do that before I stumbled. So I think I already had this base, and then Ashley and I thought nothing of it, and then Netflix starts blowing up with documentaries. We're sitting watching one night.
It was What the Health.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. That was a good one.
Just watching that and seeing the trauma that's inflicted on animals was just like the turning point. It's already like I had that base. I just needed that pushed over moment. Actually took a little longer, I think. There was other things. Well, all these connections, but meat, animal flesh was eliminated immediately.
Yeah, I would say it all started with like when we watched What the Hell, because I used to be very, very, very much bigger than I am now. Okay. I reached several milestones in my weight loss journey. So losing 130 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I was very, very, very big. So when we watched What the Health, thank you. It was more so health focused for me. And then we watched, and what's crazy, they're not on Netflix anymore, Food Inc. and Vegucated.
Oh, they took them off, eh?
They took them off.
Oh,
yep. You gotta hide the truth.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So Food Inc. was really touching into the food aspect and how food is made. It wasn't really an animal rights documentary, but it was digging deep into what animals go through, and they did show some graphic footages. Vegucated was a documentary that followed around, I think, like 7 or 8 people on their vegan journey, and at the end of the documentary, they took them into an abandoned slaughterhouse. And then they were showing images of, I'll never forget. I have a very bad memory, but I will never forget that image of them stunning a pig and just like the pig shaking, falling to the floor. That did it for me. So that's when it changed into the health aspect and then more of the animal rights part of it.
Ethical. Wow. Yeah, so sometimes it just takes one image, right? You can watch a whole bunch of stuff, and then all of a sudden just that one image does it for you.
That's right. And people talk about like Earthlings and Dominion. I have never watched those documentaries.
Need to see those things.
You don't need to. You don't need to. If you already understand you understand the suffering that these animals are going through. Yeah. So you don't need to go and torture yourself more by watching. I do, because I'm crazy, but you don't have to. If you understand, like my wife, I don't make her watch anything. And when I do my videos now, I make sure to kind of tone them down a bit, but I still think people need to see certain things, but there's certain aspects of it that it just goes like, I'm doing the fur protest stuff right now, right? I'm editing that video, and some of the graphic stuff in there is just too much for some people to handle. So I have to take some of that out, but
definitely.
How long? Okay, no, first off, I want to know this. How did your family take it? You have to tell me each. How did your family take the fact you was going vegan?
Mine's quick, because if you grabbed it, little to no religion, so there isn't this judgmental aspect. Even when I brought home my first girlfriend, it wasn't like, what? It was more like, oh, okay, that makes sense. What do you want? What should we do?
Immediate acceptance.
Right.
Yeah.
There wasn't really questioning. So my parents it just fell into place. That's how my parents are. Super supportive, always have been, very open-minded. So not an issue. She's got the story for that.
Yeah, I bet.
I don't even know. So I'm grateful that I don't have my family here. And I don't have to deal with a lot of stuff that I deal with over the phone, because it's a lot of back and forth over the phone, a lot of silent treatment, a lot of so my mom and brother is who I'm very, very, very close to with my family. I mean, I have a huge family, but as far as like the people I talk with all the time, my mom and brother, that's who I grew up in my household, was my mom and my brother. Currently right now, my mom and I were not really eye to eye.
This just happened. I mean, it's almost like a teaching. She tries to teach them and educate them, but it's wanting the blinders on, not wanting to hear the truth, not thinking that it's that bad. So recently, her and her mother just had a kind of a because
then when you start to tell me I need to be nicer, or I need more self-awareness, I need to understand what I'm saying to people, how I'm making people feel, how I'm disrespectful. That's not going to roll well with me. And no one is excused from knowing the truth, and my mother is included. She falls right in line. She is an animal abuser. I have called her that. She doesn't like it, but the truth hurts. So it's a very, very difficult time at the moment. I mean, my brother, we've had our ups and downs. We're okay right now. But people just, they don't want to see the truth. They don't want to see the truth. They don't want to understand it. And what makes me even more angry is that they keep looking at this from their own perspective. They don't even attempt to look at it from the animal's point of view. They make these judgments, these excuses, justifications based on their own personal opinion. And that's where another part of my frustration lies. So.
I will say though, when her brother when Ashley moved to Ithaca, he always made the attempt once or twice a year to come and visit. Non-vegan days, that wasn't as prevalent till now, where he would eat with us vegan the whole time. We didn't allow him to have food or items in here. What has really changed is that this past May, when we took over the AV chapter for our city and we became advocates, that's what changed for people, because it's no longer about food or the differences in what we eat on our plate. It's now an animal rights
pushing beliefs.
Right? Exactly.
And that was actually what was said. Right?
Exactly.
So they were open and loving, this is just a food and a diet thing. And then once it started happening, that's when the friction really started happening.
Yeah, and that was in May, right? That's when you guys transitioned into activism. Right?
Yeah, I started doing my activism started before taking over the AV chapter. I would do a lot of activism online. I mean, I call it activism. Yeah, Carrie would call it online battling.
Well, it's practice is what I look at it.
It was. But it was consuming.
Yeah, but it helped me tremendously. But I would spend days, days
battling
at a time.
People online.
Yeah, so I would go into so it would be YouTube comments or Facebook. Like I would specifically look for, like I would go on a Joey Carbstrong video, Anonymous for the Voiceless video, Paul Bashir video. I would go on Facebook and go under Vegan for the Animals post, or Kinder World, or I forget the other any type of big animal rights group that would make a post, and I would go through the comments and see who I can talk to. It wasn't like, I'm going to start this argument with them. It wasn't that. The people that would say, bacon though, or plants have feelings. Well, sometimes plants have feelings. I would talk to those people. But the people that would say like, I just had a steak today, like I wouldn't talk to them. But if they had like a comment that warranted a little bit of outreach, I would do it. And it would sometimes last a long time.
Yeah,
it was great. It was good to bring knowledge and kind of education to that person, but ultimately in the end, what did that really do for the animals? So going out onto the street and actually showing the footage and the back and forth conversation with people and the impact that you see, because honestly, like everyone's gangster and everyone has all this, great, fighting skills behind the computer. But when you're standing face to face with someone, they're more open to listen. They don't just want to battle.
Exactly. Absolutely. So do you do any other forms of activism besides AV? Like, are you involved in any other groups?
So I actually had a couple of people wanting me to be involved with their groups. I don't really have the time because our weekends we spend on either doing errands in the house, or that's when we do the AV things. I recently just discovered this company in my area. They're called Local Fiber, and they sell animal skin. And I'm planning a demo in that area. So, and I've done my first demo, the horse protests. You saw a couple of our pictures. That was the first demo that I've ever done. So I do want to start doing more of those.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
That experience, it was not like an ABQ. It wasn't.
Oh God, no. No. Totally different experience. Totally different action.
Yeah, we were in a different area, so the people were a little bit aggressive, definitely. So I do want to do more demos in that aspect. But as far as activism, maybe in the future, if we can find, I guess, the time to do those things.
Well, I think go ahead. No.
What's been great about the AV is essentially the horse protest came from a girl that joined the Cube, that joined the chapter. And then she's a college student, 30 or 40 minutes from here, and she was doing the horse protest. Two of our other members are from New Jersey, and they were active in New Jersey and still have a lot of friends in New Jersey that are active, and they do the like fur protests and disruptions, they call them, where they go into grocery stores.
Usually with the direct action everywhere.
What's that?
It's usually with the direct action everywhere. They do a lot of those.
The disruptions.
The disruptions.
I feel like it's totally open more than anything, because I would like it. AV is great and super structured, but I think that there's other times it only reaches a certain amount. Like the fur is a big thing.
I agree. Well, that's why. There's so many different, like I said, I've only been doing this for a year, but every day there's something else, right? Like I could join 10 chapters, and because there's 10 different, areas I could fur, where does it end? Like it's everywhere. So
we recently just received, I don't know how I received this in the mail. I think because I'm part of so many sanctuaries. It was a packet that they sent me where you purchase an animal. It's either a very large animal, it could be chickens, a goat, and you have them sent to a family to essentially help them eat. And
we're actually doing a campaign right now with the Animal Save movement. So if you were to actually go and Google the Animal Save movement right now, you would see Stop Animal Gifting, and that is based on those organizations. Because it's a huge problem. The animals, the way they're treated is one thing. It's horrible the way those animals are treated, and then the trickle effect of the problems created from actually animal gifting.
Right. I didn't even know that was a thing, and I wanted to send them an email. Basically, I wanted to tell them to stop sending us stuff, but I was going to add a little bit more in the email. But when I was going through the pamphlet, I could not believe what I was reading. It's like this is a thing. I didn't even know it was a thing.
What organization was that? Do you remember? If you can come across that again, let me know what organization that was.
I'll text it to you.
I tagged them all over our Instagram. I can go right back in and
please. That's horrible. That's one of the, like I said, that's one of the actions happening right now. And then, I want to do a McDonald's demo. We got ideas for that. But there's an organization, I don't know if you've heard about them yet, called We the Free. WTF.
That's who contacted me and wanted me to be a part of their group.
I just opened up a chapter here in Edmonton myself. And what I like about it is the fact that you can do all of these different things. You can do protests, demos, disruptions. as long as it's, not civil disobedience, where you're going in to get arrested under that name, under WTF.
Yeah.
But you got that freedom to do what you want in the cube, but still, it's a diamond, but still, it's a learning that they provide you with the training. They provide you with the opportunities to speak your mind and ideas on how you want the cube or the diamond to go. I'll still call it a cube until I get used to it.
Yeah. So is it like AV structured? Like you hold sign or like
we hold the. Yeah, we hold
like a screen.
Yeah, we hold the footage of it's usually Dominion and other stuff as well. But then off to the side, because I just finished some training with them, and what I forgot about was a lot of people, we don't know what a lot of people have gone through in their lives, right? A lot of them have been through a lot of traumatic things. And some poor suspecting person is walking down the street and they go and they look at that footage. We don't know if we've triggered them, right? We don't know if, right? So what we've done as well is those people who can't look at it, we put another table over here with sanctuary footage. Right. So these people will go over here and we'll talk to them and say, look at these animals. Right. And that works for those people. It's like, I think different approaches work for different people. It's not just one approach. So I do AV, I do bearing witness, I do WTF because people are different. Right. So, and what I love about you, let's segue into that here, is what you have done with your talent. So why don't you tell us exactly why do you think I brought you on today?
Well, you said it started with the ICD video you saw, right? So absolutely. What's crazy is that, AV has triggered a lot of things within me. Like, first of all, let's go back a little bit. So when I would watch their videos or watch Joey Carshong, I always wanted to be out in the public and talking to people. And for some reason, I thought AV was like an international thing, like, and you had to, I don't know. I just didn't think that it was something that I could do.
Oh, okay.
So after looking into it more, and I saw like it was like a map of all the chapters around the world, and I saw some in the States, and I was just like, okay, so I'm about to open my own chapter. So I contacted them. Long story short, became the organizer. So talking to people and being on the street is what I wanted to do, but my love for hip hop, rapping, I have been writing since I was in high school.
Nice.
So I always knew that there was something that I wanted to do with my music. I just didn't know which direction I wanted to go into. And then ICD happened. And what was crazy is that I didn't even think what happened after ICD. I didn't even expect that to happen. I just was so excited to be a part of AV. I saw a lot of ICD videos back in the day. I always wanted to be a part of that. And I was like, wow, this is great. This year I could be a part of that. Let me write something dedicated to the cause, dedicated to Paul and Assault. And everything that happened after that, it's crazy.
Tell me what happened.
All the people I've been connecting people from the Netherlands, from Germany, from Australia, Canada, Spain, Italy, everywhere.
Isn't it fabulous?
It's amazing. Yeah. It is absolutely amazing.
So I want to add that what it also has done is it gives Ashley's music and her passion just that much more drive and purpose. Because when I first met her, she was always into writing and rhyming, but the substance of what she was writing and rhyming was very, everyone's doing it. Like it was great for the writing and the release and the passion, but this passion and this drive and this combination of animal rights with the music just makes it tenfold.
Yeah.
Like it propels what you already love to do times 10, because you're now speaking about what you love. Right. You're speaking about your passion, not just, trying to make tricky, cute rhymes.
Exactly.
And, put yourself on the map that way. But this is like tenfold.
Yeah. She hated my music.
It's not that I hated it. I just didn't feel it was constructive and was going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I think back on it, I mean, a lot of people did like it, and it was good, but it's just, I mean, people would say, it wasn't genuine, wasn't really rapping about anything that I had. I mean, I was trying to not really sound like everyone else, but I was trying to blend in and
be mainstream.
Yeah, right.
Which is totally what we are now. Like, I don't ever want to be mainstream.
Yeah, no,
that's good for others, but this type of movement is opposite of mainstream, and now to combine it with a mainstream sound, right? The mainstream sound, but then the message being the non-mainstream. It's
this is to be able to put my music. And then when I transitioned to veganism and then activism, I still wanted to do something with my music when it came to the animals. I just didn't know where to go. And then when ICD happened, well, it's crazy that someone from Germany, an organizer, he did the ICD music video that's on my YouTube.
Right.
And it's not really good quality because he had the beat, he had some images. I recorded my lyrics in headphones. Like I had the beat in my headphones, but I recorded the lyrics on a phone so he can have just my words overlapping it with the beat that I had. So it's not really good quality. But when he did that video, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like I want to use my music to outreach people. And I'm going to make videos and music based off of the words that I say. Just finished actually my Christmas video. I'm waiting for my producer to send me the final track. But
when's that going to come out?
Today. As soon as he sends it to me, I had the video already. I just have to put the audio on it. And that's what I want to do. I want to take my music and I want to outreach this world. I want my music to land in every single non-vegan household.
Because you can, that sound, right? That sound pulls you in, but then those lyrics make you
once
think.
You get the lyrics, exactly. So what happened? Did Paul and Asal reach out to you at all?
Oh yeah. So what's crazy is that Paul and not really Asal, but I've talked with Paul a little bit about a few things, AV related, my outreach. He wants to post some of my outreach content. I have sent him some of my outreach videos. So we talked about that. But when it came to the music aspect, he literally messaged me that same day or the day after to let me know how great it was. And he uploaded that video right away.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool that he did that. And ever so often I'll go on the Anonymous for the Voiceless Instagram account to see what the views are at.
Yeah.
They keep growing still.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Now she goes amazing. Every couple of days. When it was happening, it was like
every second.
Every second. And I was looking. Because it's not about, popularity. I don't want to be, the best at this. I just want to be heard.
Yeah.
I want my message out there. I want to, like I said, I want to land in every single non-vegan's lap, and I want them to hear what I have to say. Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Well, I've only heard that, and as soon as I heard it, I'm like, who the is this? Right? Gotta know her, and so does everybody else, right? Yeah. And I think for me, my main goal is I'm going to steal or piggyback off of Vegan Pixie Warrior here, but her main purpose is to lift other vegans up, right? And she's the one that inspired me to be active. So I find it's my calling as well to help people like you get out there and let other people know that you exist and help you spread your message, right?
That's awesome.
There's so many little folk out there. Like I'm a little folk, right? Yeah. And there's other little folk out there and no one knows who they are. But and I think the more vegans that get noticed out there, we won't feel as alone. You know what I mean? Like there's so many of us out there, but there's not so many of us on here getting noticed.
And it also breaks the stereotype of what vegan is or what a vegan is, right? Like most vegans, quote unquote, don't look a certain way or sound a certain way. Well, you know what? It doesn't have a sound or a look. Just like, gay and lesbian, there's no, they don't look gay. Those weird stereotypes. It breaks down that stereotype too. Like vegan and veganism is dope, and so is this music. So you should hear it.
That's right. It should be your lyrics or your title right there. Right? It's dope.
I love it.
Love it. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure here. Let's see. So you've only been an organizer then since May of AV, right?
Very short period of time. May 5th, I took over the chapter. So, and it's crazy. It's that's like ICD happened November 6th. The things that's happened between May and today, which rhymes.
May and today. I know.
May and today, it's crazy. Like
it's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking about what's gonna happen next year and the year after that. And just recently, when I did my last cube of the year, and I did another rap for that, vegan psychology. I don't know if you saw the reel that they created for me. So at the end of the rap, and what's crazy, When I write these things, I don't even think none of this is going to happen. I literally, it's not even like I even planned on it. Like the very morning of the Cube, first of all, I wrote the lyrics the day before, so I wasn't really ready. Okay. So when I was reciting at the end of the Cube, we had to do it 25,000 takes because I just kept stumbling over my words. And then at the end of the rap that morning, I was like, I'm just going to write, somewhat of a speech at the end. And I kind of went off, and they did a reel about it. Oh. It has like 20,000 views right now.
Oh, wow. And what is that site?
So Vegan Psychology.
So on Instagram.
Okay. Okay. And, I'll put a plug in down there so everyone can see that too.
Yeah. And so at the end of my rap, they took it and did a reel, and they have like the words as I'm saying it and like music in the background. And it's a very short reel. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I wasn't even writing that or saying that for it to be anything long, but
that's usually how the best things happen, though.
Yeah. And ever since when they posted that reel, I have so many people following me, so many people liking that reel, sharing that reel.
It keeps you motivated to keep going, right? Like to keep doing stuff.
So like I said, it's just like the things that's happened within this short period of time. I am so excited to see where everything goes.
And also, it wasn't even the rap or the actual music part of it. It was just the speech at the end. So if that got the attention, these songs are just going to blow up. And when we were at the studio yesterday, I'll be the first one. I was teary-eyed. Like when I heard the Christmas rap, I was just like, you're dope. And I love what you just said. Like, and a little tear.
Aw. Oh, I'm excited to hear this one now. So when are you going to post it then? Like, is it going to be posted like soon-ish?
Yeah. So I even asked my producer, I said, I'm not that I'm trying to rush you, but what time are you going to be back into the studio? Mm-hmm. So he said about 4 or 5, just to do a couple of tweaks for the song. And then, like I said, my video's done already. I just have to throw that audio on there, and it's going everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. So
I'll share that out tomorrow as well too, or whenever it comes out, we'll share it out. I got I share like 100 places. I got like lists of every places that I share. So I'll help you out with that. So what else do you have on the go then? So you got this going. This is, and what do you plan next, or is it just open right now?
For activism? Or
for music? Well, music is your activism as well, right?
Yes,
definitely.
Yes. So, I mean, I feel like for right now, I'm probably going to do like a song and a video per month. And honestly, it's all I could afford at this current time. I wish studio time was free, but it's not.
Right.
So that's what I could do right now. But
have you thought about starting a Patreon account or anything like that?
I have a GoFundMe, but that's probably not the same.
That was for the AV stuff. Yeah.
I think, because you're probably going to blow up and you're probably going to be famous one day. I think a good idea to look into is Patreon. Okay. Because you can post your videos up there and people can support you, right? They can pay $3 a month, $5 a month, and then they get access to your secret videos or special videos or whatever. But like I support Earthling Head on there, right? Give him like $5 a month or whatever. Guys making like $11,000 a month. Like, come on.
That is a good idea. I mean, I did Colleen Patrick Goudreau. Have you heard of her? No. She's amazing activist.
Yeah, I was supporting. I don't know a lot of people.
I would give her at first, like this was like a couple years or so ago, I was giving her like $20 a month. Yeah. Because she was so impactful in my life. I was like, I am definitely going to support her. So I don't even know why I didn't think of Patreon. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, do it. I guarantee you that, if you've got these many views going on your music and your reels and your videos, I think people would definitely support you.
Yeah, so, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so do that.
I definitely will be setting that up today. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I helped.
That. Yeah. So, I mean, I just want to keep writing these songs. That's all I want to do is keep writing these songs, keep making these videos. Mm-hmm. And I even said it in the car, we were grocery shopping, and one of so there's a few celebrity vegans out there. So we have Moby, you have Russell Simmons, Jermaine Dupri, and RZA. He's part of this rap group called the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
I was like, what if RZA hears me and wants to make an animal rights album with me?
Like
what?
Like holy shit, right? You for real?
So, and if that's my life, just making hip hop, rap, AR,
doing what you love.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate goal is to own our sanctuary, multiple sanctuaries. But if I can tie in another goal and having like a rap album, hip hop album with like a celebrity, like that would be crazy. I would love that. So
yeah, it'd be a dream come true for sure.
Future down the line.
It's a big possibility for you, so it might not be that far away.
Hope so.
Yeah. Is there anything, I think I've covered everything. I mean, I didn't go too deep into your past or anything like that. I mean, like, I'm not Oprah, right? But
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's what's happening right now that's super interesting.
Yeah,
right. Exactly. But like, is there anything else you wanna share? Like, is there something that I haven't talked about that you might want people to know about you guys? What do you do? What do you do for a living? I know you work at the Cornell. You both work there, or?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, what do you do there?
I work as an administrative assistant in one of the recreational facilities. So I assist the director of wellness, the athletics director. I help members process gym memberships, and I basically do like the billing and accounting for the whole recreational services department of Cornell. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. And what about you?
I'm an evening weekend supervisor in the library system.
Right.
I've been there just over 14 years. Yeah, my documentation, documentary stuff.
Right. Yes, I remember this. I'll do a throwback.
Documentary
in the video.
Yeah.
It's working out great.
Been there 14 years. I've been there. Actually, I just passed my 7th year this past November at the university.
We're blessed to have Cornell so close. It's not our passion or our dream job, but the funding and the money that we get from it enables us to do so much.
Exactly, right.
And it does keep us like in tune with a lot of things and information. So it does help, you know?
No, for sure, for sure.
It's nice to have that, that Ivy League, that university so close. It does bring a lot of ideas and minds and cultures to this area that's super helpful.
Are you guys able to do any kind of outreach at the university? Like any kind of, or is that because you work there, you're not allowed?
Well, so I think that's two-parted. I think that we're a little more reserved to do it there.
Okay.
But there is a lot of, politics. It's political, right? You have to get someone to sponsor you. Not everyone's ready to sponsor animal rights. So it becomes this like, can you help us? No.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. That's not your thing, no.
We have a great, it's called Ithaca Commons. That's where we do it. It's where when you come to Ithaca and you visit, that's where people are. So we're reaching enough people there. The university would be great for that, but what you have to do in order to get it's not totally ruled out. Earthling Ed actually went there and did some
the table stuff.
He did. I think it was like a couple of years ago. He was actually in front of so Cornell has like a dairy bar where they sell like whatever, and he did a little thing right outside of there. I think this was back in 2018 or something like that.
Did you see it?
I wish.
Not live. But we have watched.
Yeah, and I didn't even know he was there. I was so mad. I was so mad at that. Yeah. So I mean, Cornell is very open-minded university. Like I said, very cultural, very diverse. So they're open to those things. But when you're staff and when you're student, a little bit of a different.
So
a little different vibe there. So I tried to go that way, and I didn't really like the response I was getting. So I was just like, and this is where I work. I don't really need this drama. So
for sure.
Just going to X that out. But there is another campus, Ithaca College, that I was actually in communication with. And it's not as big as Cornell, obviously, but they were very receptive to what I was saying. And I can go through the process with them with doing outreach and doing a cube there. I have the instructions of what I have to do. It's just like a contract. You got to pay something.
You do have to pay, huh?
Yeah, it's like a contract you have to sign, you have to pay. I mean, but I don't care. If I can get on that campus and talk to those students, that's fine. But they're still doing a lot of remote stuff. So they were saying that you could certainly come, but it won't be a lot of
foot traffic. Might not be a lot of kids,
Yeah, so maybe next year I'll get that communication started back up with the person I was talking to. And I was actually very, very shocked that I got more response from Ithaca College as opposed to my own diverse, open, huge university. But it's fine.
You're trying. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely was trying. for sure.
Wow. Yeah, and it gives you, because I didn't know that you'd have to have like some sort of a contract, because that's one of the things I want to do here as well. So now I know what to kind of expect. They might make me sign something and pay, so that's good to know.
Yeah, it depends on the location where you are.
When we do it on the Commons, we get a city permit, but that's only $10, and we can be in that area for whatever amount of time that we want to be there. But I feel like I want to thank you, and that I've learned from you today. I love the idea that these other outside of AV kind of where you set up sanctuary footage. I think that's great. Like, I never thought of that connection to people seeing animals as who they are and not just the torture and trauma, right? Yeah. Like I love that. I would be able to handle that booth myself. Like, I'm super photo, the head, I can remember everything. So seeing slaughter footage, even when I'm filming and taking pictures, I'm kind of shying away from that.
Yeah, it's tough to see.
Yeah, so I don't need to see that. So just like you said, your wife, like that's me. Like when she's editing and doing stuff, I'm like, yep, out of here.
Out of here.
But I love the idea of the sanctuary, because that, I guess that's one thing we didn't touch on, is that was our biggest connection when we first became members of Farm Sanctuary in 2018, interacting with them, seeing their eyes. Like that's what pushed us over. We had already stopped eating certain things and products, but that, that connection that was like, wow, this aha moment was
breaking that cognitive dissonance, right, is sometimes really hard. And if the slaughterhouse footage is not going to do it for people, I almost guarantee that the sanctuary footage is the better alternative.
Agree. Never even thought of it.
And I actually want to I was actually thinking of doing one where I just bring the sanctuary footage, right, just to test it out, right, to see, because you can keep your stats. So we have these We the Free business cards, just like AV, and you make special codes on your website, so it takes you to We the Free stats. It's called My Stats, right, and it'll take you to your page. But on the card, you set up these codes. So if I was doing outreach in Calgary, let's say, I would take these cards and I would hand those out to these people. Here, take this card and watch these videos on the back. There's a challenge here if you want to take it. And then I can go home and I can go on the site and I can see how many people from that cube actually, or from that diamond, went on the site, right, and took further action, and how my outreach affected somebody, which is something that AV is missing, and a lot of other outreach.
They just added that. Literally, I would say that 2 days ago.
Yeah, so, and you know what? And it's probably around the same system, and that's fine, because the We the Free system is meant for everybody. They say you don't have to be part of We the Free to use it, right? Just go onto My Stats and make your codes. You don't have to just do your. Oh, I'm bleeding. Anyway, I picked a scab, sorry. I'll edit that out. So you don't have to actually be with Me the Free to use it. I can hook you up later, or you can call whoever it was, or that
I had so what's crazy is I have another animal rights group on Facebook, and somebody had shared a link to one of their videos, and it was talking about activists and how a lot of activists get burned out. They have emotional things going on. And I thought of a song. Like I want to do a song about that, activists and how they think and how they could be emotional and break down, how to keep strong, keep fighting. So that's actually in the future works.
Nice.
But when I saw that video, I was like, oh wow, this is really deep. So I messaged them and I was like, hey, I just watched a video. I was like, this is really cool. This is really great. I do music, if you ever want to collab on something. And then they messaged back to me and they saw the music. They were like, oh my God, this is great. Yes, would love to. So I had that connection. And then just the other day, someone else from that group messaged me and wanted me to join and be a part of their team. I can't remember her name. I think it was like Jen or something like that. I don't remember.
Jen Deegenshank.
I do not remember.
Okay, well, Jen, yeah, well, she's, I met her.
I can't remember.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure it was Jen Deegenshank. I'm probably saying her name. I'm destroying her name. I know I am. Anyway, I went out to Ontario in the summer, and I did the Meet the Victims out there. The police intercepted, little fuckers.
Of course.
But she was the organizer for that. Like we don't have organizers. She was the one that informed me of this. And she's actually We the Free organizer here, I think in Central or Eastern organizer. I forget the title. Anyway, she's probably the person, but I don't know if you know who Vegan Pixie Warrior is. Have you heard of her? The Vegan Pixie Warrior? She's out in the UK, and she started it out in the UK as well. So We the Free is spreading, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I saw. So yeah, that's definitely something that I want to definitely connect with in the future. I told her that, like I said, I looked through the website, like I definitely want to connect with you guys in the future, for sure.
Yeah. And I'm going to be like, I'll be doing everything. I'm just going to be all over the place. So I'll do AV, I'll do Animal Save, I'll do We the Free, I'll do Disruptions, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I was just saying to someone, I was just like, if I can do AR all day, every day, and not have this one little thing in the way called a freaking job, I would
Patreon, go on Patreon. I'm telling you, you will do it.
Man, if I can just knock out, I love Cornell, but if I can just knock that out and just free up my day, I would love to do all these things.
Yeah,
that's what it really boils down to, is having a job.
I think, I'm not, like I said, I'm not Oprah or anything, but I do have a feeling that you're going to go far. You're going to go places with this music. You're very talented. Your lyrics are very powerful. Just from the one song that I heard, it caught me, right? It grabbed me. And look at all the other people that it grabbed hold of. So I'm excited, very excited to hear what else you have coming.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So make sure whenever you have something new, you let me know.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
It's going to be in a few hours.
All right, please let me know. Okay. Well, I'm going to wrap it up because I usually try to cut it at an hour because I'll probably have to go ice me face. I got a bad job. But it was a pleasure talking to both of you. And if there's anything else that you wanted to share with me, like if there was links that we didn't talk about, other than your Instagram, I know you have Facebook. I will have a SoundCloud. Yeah, send it to me. Send everything you have in a message so I can put it on here when I finish editing it. It'll probably take a couple weeks because I got a few things and it's Christmas and all that stuff. Yeah, but I will have this out as soon as possible. Awesome. But yeah, is there anything else that you'd like to say?
I just want to say thank you because you show so much support. There's like I'm sure that's going to grow as a handful of people. Like Marlene Morrow, probably she is amazing with her radio station and all the support she gives. She features me on her show. You were the first person you were the first person who wanted to do this with me. So I just appreciate this so much. And I thank you for this opportunity so much. And the work you do is amazing as well. So
thank you.
Honored to be on this mission with you for sure.
Oh, fantastic. It's an honor to be with both of you on this mission as well. We will win eventually. Maybe, a few years from now, but it will win eventually. That's right.
Yeah.
You got it.
For sure.
Thank you so much, ladies. I will talk to you very soon because I plan on keeping in contact with you. I am probably having another interview.
Lifetime connection. This is never going anywhere. So
no, it isn't.
Thank you for being patient and kind of like following up the first question because it was the end of the semester and everything. Tofurkey roast is done.
Is that what that was?
The oven beep. That's the tofurkey roast. Definitely keep that in there. But yeah, thank you for keeping up. Like every time we had to cancel or shift, you never wavered, and that was great.
Yeah, appreciate that. You know what? I'll put those clips in there too of the text of their.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I hope you guys have a great evening, a great week, and I'm still looking forward to hearing that song. So message me as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. She will. I definitely will do that. You got it.
All right, and I will talk to you both soon. Okay.
All right.
Peace out.
Peace.
All right. Bye.